I did this. And then I did this.
And tonight on CBS News 7.
Your seats are too goddamn small! If your big, round, beluga bop whale-looking self needs an accommodation in the cargo hold, we can make that happen.
We are here live at the scene of a shocking incident where a woman killed her husband for walking on the floor she mopped. Has she been arrested?
Not yet. We are waiting for the floor to dry. Welcome back to the Spectrum News Network. I'm your host, Marshmallow Jenkins. We have some extremely tragic news for you tonight. The only Hooters in my town has shut down. I drove my moped to the promised land on my lunch break today, and I was shocked to discover that the happiest place on earth has become nothing but a memory. A culinary institution that was once the heartbeat of Tickletoe County locked its doors for the last time this week as it filed for bankruptcy. As the earth shifted beneath my Crocs in that empty parking lot, it began to rain. As if even the sky knew what had been lost to the cruel, twisted hand of fate. I began to wonder where Kelly could be. Is she thinking about me? Wondering where I am? My soul is now bankrupt of boobies. But do I get to file these feelings? No, I must carry on. I must become the man that my dad wanted me to be. The man that was born when Kelly hugged me that one time and absolutely smothered my face with those squeezers. Because if I can't become that man, well, I don't deserve Kelly and her massive upper deckers, do I? So that's what I must do. I won't just survive this tragedy. I'll become stronger from it. Stronger than I've ever been. I know more jiggly honkers are out there, and I'll find them. This just in. The United States has officially deployed its most reckless and unpredictable unit to the Middle East, the Ultima Team.
Girl, I'm lost. Keisha, guess where I am? Girl, they sent me to Iran. Who's gonna fill in? Girl, that. They got some good ass food here though. Did you not see me? Dead ass. Move. I don't even care for real. Bitch.
Thanks, Chris. Known for their unmatched ability to cause complete havoc in school zones, Walmart parking lots, and Taco Bell drive-thrus.
Y'all lucky I ain't bring Keisha.
The Pentagon has confirmed these drivers were selected based on three things: unpaid registration, loud exhaust, and vibes. God help us all. Welcome to the Black News Network. I'm your host, Papa Cap and Yo Ass Jones. Tonight's story, BNN weather reporter and local hoe Keisha McRib thinks she too good for me. The part-time weather reporter and full-time community mattress was begging me to come through and lay this pipe last Friday, but now she want to act like she don't know me. She ain't ever had a problem asking me to pay for her food, but when it come time to show me what that mouth do, the hoe proudly lied, I ain't that kind of girl. So we just gonna act like you ain't already popping Plan Bs like they a daily vitamin. Oh, please. The dry cleaners won't even take your business anymore. They all tired of cleaning up baby batter stains off your clothes. Don't ever ask me to DoorDash you no crab legs again. You ain't never gonna feel these biggity black balls snocking all up on that tuna fish hot pocket garage door. And she wanna walk around here like we strangers now? Here's a forecast for any men thinking they about to get some neck work from this hoe. Expect a 100% chance of STDs. Don't be texting me next week saying, I miss you, Chocolate Thunder, come and get this deep dish. I ain't no hot and ready midnight snack hoe. You just missed the free shrimp. And now here's Keisha McRib with the weather.
All right, bet. It is Thursday, June 6, 2025. Let me run through a couple of these news stories, get the hell up out of here. We started a bit late, man, been a long day. Those are the new news that AI news edits in the front, man. AI is incredible. What did we do last time? I got Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon, but let's just do like some of the weekend review because shit been crazy with Trump. Where's my Jesse Waters segment? Here we go. Let me remove this, add this to the stage. All right, bet. Where my shit playing? You gotta be. Come on, string. All right. Here we go.
Democrats are admitting this may be Donald Trump's best week as president. NATO is calling him daddy. The ceasefire's holding, Iran's nuclear program's obliterated, and the stock market's about to hit an all-time high. Today at the Pentagon, Pistol Pete spiked the football right in the media's face. Secretary Hegseth and General...
What the hell? Oh, you killing me, StreamYard. Let's reload this. Let's try this again.
This may be Donald Trump's best week as president. NATO is calling him daddy. The ceasefire's holding, Iran's nuclear program's obliterated, and the stock market's about to hit an all-time high. Today at the Pentagon, Pistol Pete spiked the football right in the media's face. Secretary Hegseth and General Raisin Kane thanked the boys in the B-2s who pulled off Saturday's operation. A mission 15 years in the making. In 2009, an officer was brought into a secret vault and briefed on a major construction project in Iran's mountain.
For more than 15 years, this officer and his teammate lived and breathed this single target, Fordow. He watched the Iranians dig it out. He watched the construction, the weather, the discard material, the geology, the construction materials, where the materials came from. He looked at the vent shaft, the exhaust shaft, the electrical systems, the environmental control systems, every nook, every crater, every piece of equipment going in and every piece of equipment going out. They literally dreamed about this target at night when they slept. They thought about it driving back and forth to work, and they knew from the very first days what this was for. And along the way, they realized we did not have a weapon that could adequately strike and kill this target. So they began a journey to work with industry and other tacticians to develop the GBU-57.
For over a decade, PhDs, geologists, and munition teams perfected the blast. They practiced it on dummy mountains. The bunker buster was born. Then the Air Force got a call Friday. Trump said the mission was a go.
The crews that attacked Fordow were from the active duty Air Force and the Missouri Air National Guard. The crews ranked from captain to colonel, and most were graduates of the Air Force Weapons School headquartered at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. I will state for the record that there is no beach volleyball or football at the Air Force Weapons School.
The target was the size of a washing machine. Miss, and the mission fails.
The United States decided to strike these two ventilation shafts, as seen here on the main graphic, as the primary point of entry into the mission space. In the days preceding the attack against Fordow, the Iranians attempted to cover the shafts with concrete to try to prevent an attack. The cap was forcibly removed by the first weapon, and the main shaft was uncovered. Weapons 2, 3, 4, 5 were tasked to enter the main shaft, move down into the complex at greater than 1,000 feet per second, and explode in the mission space. The primary kill mechanism in the mission space was a mix of overpressure and blast, ripping through the open tunnels and destroying critical hardware.
The Pentagon releasing these videos simulating the bomb blast. We dropped 420,000 pounds of these beasts and then threw in 30,000 pounds of tomahawks just for dessert. That kind of firepower, that cavern lab is incinerated. After 6 bullseyes, we knew the regime would retaliate, and they did, lobbing missiles at our largest base in the region, and our soldiers were ready.
You know that you're going to have approximately 2 minutes, 120 seconds to either succeed or fail. The sun sets in the west, Iran attacks. As the targets were detected, round after round of Patriot missiles are ejected from their canisters by an initial launch charge. Then the main solid rocket motor ignites. You can
Okay, I didn't see this whole clip. I didn't know they was going to give you a play-by-play of the actual operation. This is dope. This is Joint Chiefs of Staff. Okay. I didn't know this was a blow-by-blow. They said they only had 120 seconds from the first blast. That's crazy.
feel this in your body if you've ever been around a Patriot taking a shot. And round after round goes out and guides against those missiles coming inbound. We believe that this is the largest single Patriot engagement in U.S. military history. These awesome humans, along with their Qatari brothers and sisters in arms, stood between a salvo of Iranian missiles and the safe.
And I think that's why Trump's getting so much pushback in the press and the Democrats know that they're really mad that this was such an overwhelmingly successful military operation. And he's pulled off something the last, 4 or 5 presidents haven't been able to do. That's really why they're upset.
A value deed. They are the unsung heroes of the 21st century United States Army.
Patriot battery operators were hooting and hollering that night as they intercepted missile after missile from the mullahs. We're so proud of our men and women in uniform. Such courage and such ingenuity. The mission was perfectly executed. The only question is if Iran moved their uranium.
The uranium was removed from the facility before the B-2 struck.
So I'm not aware of any intelligence that I've reviewed that says things were not where they were supposed to be, moved or otherwise.
The International Atomic Energy Agency and the Israeli Atomic Energy Commission both say the American payloads completely destroyed the enrichment facilities and the centrifuges. Iran's even admitting its nuclear sites are toast.
Our nuclear installations have been badly damaged, that's for sure, because it has come under repeated attacks by Israeli and American aggressors.
The only ones who say Iran's nuke program survived, besides CNN, is the Ayatollah, who came out of hiding and says he slapped us like Bridget Macron.
The Islamic Republic dealt a severe slap to the face of America.
Besides Iranian Baghdad Bob, CNN couldn't find a single soul to back up their fake story. Oh, and they tried.
You could see that the...
Oh, yeah, this is funny because CNN put out that fall. It was a low-level initial intelligence assessment. And they brought on experts the next day, I guess because they're getting so much heat from the White House, to back up their intelligence leak. This chick Natasha is going to get fired, too. But all the experts, this is a funny montage. All the experts they're bringing on are supporting their story. They're like, yeah, that facility's pretty much toast.
Key nodes of a centrifuge program were hit. So the program is severely damaged.
I am confident that Iran has suffered a catastrophic blow to its enrichment program.
They did it perfectly. So we should have, as kind of Norm said, an expectation that there was significant damage.
The reporter who fronted the piece is a known con artist. They call her Nasty Natasha.
Nasty Natasha, that's funny. That's Russian too, ain't it, Theo? Yo, what up, Theo? You said Iran done effed up. Yeah, man. We got some extra stuff too. Apparently there was some sleeper cells. No news sent me these links. The boy Ron Yates did some coverage on it. It's nowhere in the news yet. It's actually in the print media. CNN might be in trouble. I'll get to that toward the end. We say, they don't even control their own airspace. Like I said, this is a massive military victory for the U.S., Trump, and the Trump administration in particular. This open and salvo with the news. This is just a montage of everything that's been happening in the last 72 hours. Good briefing. But this chick Natasha is at CNN. She's in trouble. She's the one who leaked the fake the Hunter laptop and the Russia collusion hoax as well.
In 2020, it was Natasha Bertrand who had 51 intelligence analysts falsely lie to her, but she still put it on paper for some reason, that the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation. Also, in 2024, Bertrand pushed the suckers and losers hoax. She also pushed the fine people hoax, which was taking the president's words purposely out of context. And so this is a reporter who has been unfortunately used by people who dislike Donald Trump in this government to push fake and false narratives. She should be ashamed of herself.
You know it's really bad when Morning Joe won't touch the bunker buster hoax.
We also have to be cautious about being played by people inside the intel community who want to get their message out. That's happened an awful lot. Happened a lot in Iraq. It happened a lot in Afghanistan. So again, that's why waiting to see what happens actually and not drawing too many conclusions makes sense.
Jake Tapper says he's just being a journalist and asking questions.
Asking questions is literally our job. Demanding facts and answers instead of just taking a president's word for it.
Jake just started asking questions when Trump got sworn in. He never asked why Biden's taking the short stairs or why an Alzheimer's doctor's visiting the White House every week. Now, we're not saying you have to believe everything the president says. You don't.
Nah, facts still. Yeah, the NBC and the Lib should go to Iran and live there. Yeah. These East Coast and the DC hyper elite circle and the West Coast liberals, they're in their own bubble. The rest of this shit's just flyover country for them. Honestly, we're going to see how this plays out, but I think we're watching the Democratic Party dismantle itself in real time. Oh, and we'll cover this on Sunday, but I'll say this offhand. It looks like the the socialist Muslim candidate won the Democratic primary in New York, and so Cuomo dropped out. Mayor Adams is running as an independent. There's a very good chance he's going to beat this guy in the primaries. So that would actually make Mayor Adams, if he wins this New York mayoral race, the first Black American independent party politician elected, especially to a major city. That would be crazy just in and of itself, especially since now most of us Black men are identifying as independents. You know, we're supporting Trump and the MAGA agenda, but after Trump leaves, if some goofy Republican gets in there, we're not voting for him either. We're pretty much, we're voting pretty much whichever way policy is in favor of us. But just on some funny trivia, if Mayor Adams wins in New York as an independent, that might be like a foreshadowing for things to come. You might actually end up with more people running as independents, and that would be a game changer.
But use your head. The Air Force hasn't missed a target since Desert Storm. CNN just spent 48 hours claiming our bombs don't work and Iran's nuke program's intact. Now Tapper's saying, we were just demanding answers. And his next book's going to be called How Trump Destroyed Fordow. Trump says fake news CNN is so disgusting and incompetent, some of the dumbest anchors in the business. Hegseth.
I was going to read some of Trump's tweets on Twitter. He savaged everybody this week.
Says they all just have a wicked case of TDS.
Because you, and I mean specifically you, the press, specifically you, the press corps.
What up, David Fennell? Yeah, he says salute Machismo TV and Theo Waff. So this is Pete Hegseth he did a huge briefing at the Pentagon today with Joint Chiefs of Staff. I'm actually going to play a piece of him at the Pentagon directly after this. But I will say Trump, I liked Pete when he was a broadcast anchor on Fox. So I think Trump did a brilliant thing. And I've said this before, that aside from talent and competency, he specifically picked people for his cabinet who were media savvy, media ready, and could pretty much defend themselves and defend the policy initiatives of the administration, and do so forcefully. And like I said, these guys manhandle the press. It's a beauty to watch.
Because you cheer against Trump so hard. It's like in your DNA and in your blood to cheer against Trump. Because you want him not to be successful so bad, you have to cheer against the efficacy of these strikes. You have to hope maybe they weren't effective. Maybe the way the Trump administration has represented him isn't true. So let's take half-truths, spun information, leaked information, and then spin it in every way we can to try to cause doubt and manipulate the public mind over whether or not our brave pilots were successful.
Today, Democrats got briefed on Operation Midnight Hammer. And here's Chuck Schumer's takeaway.
There was
that's mad funny. This might be true too. Theo Watt with a $5 super chat. He said Trump hit the lips so hard they're gonna be claiming Me Too in the next 50 years. Spot on. They actually already are claiming Me Too to some degree. This was for you. You already know what it is. Basel. Hashtag F all you hoes.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Man, fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Man, fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. Man, fuck all you hoes.
Yes, sir. All right, I think this segment's almost over.
no
We're going to head
coherent
to Pete Hegseth,
strategy,
Pentagon.
no end game, no plan, no specific, no detailed plan.
Oh, yeah,
on
F
how
all
Iran
you
does
live.
not attain a nuclear weapon.
Schumer must still be dehydrated from the elliptical because the strategy to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon was to bomb the places where they were making nuclear weapons. What is wrong with this guy? It's starting to look like the leaker didn't come from the Pentagon. They came from Congress.
Facts. And all right. This is all going to tie together with all. So, the leaker appears to have come from Congress. And then when I get into the Iranian sleeper cell fiasco, this is why you haven't heard about this in the news. The only thing I found was there's been like 103 arrests of Iranians in the United States, but the big arrest was in Houston. But they've been quiet in the press. And like I said, this leaker came from Congress, and there's a connection with CNN for the supposed sleeper strike that was supposed to strike. Once they heard something on CNN, there's already an investigation underway. Yo, CNN is in a lot of trouble, and then we may be looking at someone in Congress getting arrested, bro. Trump's they've kept this one under wraps the last 48 hours. It completely slipped my radar. No News sent me the information on it, and I looked at some of it before we go on. But Ron Yates did a piece of citizen journalism piece on it. We're gonna listen to a bit of that before we get up out of here, and then we'll see how this plays out in the news. And actually, we're probably going to talk about it too a little bit more on Sunday also.
We're investigating who that leaker was. It could have been someone in the intelligence community, or it could have been someone on Capitol Hill who had access to this document. The FBI is searching for that person.
Donald Trump says the Democrats are the ones who leaked the information on the perfect flight to the nuclear sites in Iran. They should.
Yo, and Trump's so brilliant with how he basically builds his own narrative on social media before they can do anything about it. Things are about to get real Twilight Zone-y, man.
Be prosecuted. The Justice Department says if they find someone in Congress leaked, they're going to prison.
I'm not aware of an immunity clause that protects anybody in this country from disclosing classified, top secret, or even higher information to the New York Times.
Democrats are now complaining that Trump isn't sharing all of his intel with them. Maybe that's because they keep leaking it. Now, if Trump gave Democrats a heads up on Operation Midnight Hammer, they would have told the Ayatollah. That can't happen. Daddy hates leaks in the House. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page.
All right, bet. That's that segment. Dave says, I live really close to the B-2 stealths in Missouri. See them quite a bit. It's an awesome site. Yeah, I bet it is. The person who knows best about all of that is Quiet Storm. He actually works on these aircraft. He's all over the world doing so. Man, we got some high-level brothers down here in this space, man. High-level brothers doing some high-level stuff. All right, let's load up this next segment. I have these segments lined up in order. I wanted to do a brief news montage because so much has happened in the last 72 hours. But let's get a piece of Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon briefing because he lays into the press. And I just want a piece of this. It's glorious. And then we'll get into these Iranian sleeper cells that are being arrested all over the states. I bet you guys haven't heard anything about that, have you? Cancel. All right, bet. We don't play those games. That's what I want. There you go. Let me turn on my show comments on stage. There we go. All right, let's all right, so this is Hegseth at the Pentagon briefing with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Then they both did a stellar job. Well, I will say this again, as far as the press goes, Trump is running the most media transparent administrations that we've seen to date. I mean, like I said, the press doesn't have to chase him down for the story. They are bombarding the press with just full transparency, like who you want to talk to.
Because there were satellite photos that showed more than a dozen trucks there 2 days in advance. Are you certain none of that highly enriched uranium was moved?
All right, let's run that back.
Do you have certainty that all the highly enriched uranium was inside the Fordow mountain, or some of it, because there were satellite photos that showed more than a dozen trucks there 2 days in advance? Are you certain none of that highly enriched uranium was moved?
Of course, we're watching every single aspect, but Jennifer, you've been about the worst. The one who misrepresents the most intentionally. When you spin it as
I love it. Yo, right off the gate, he said, "You've been about the worst." I love that they calling out these the media right to their face on national television. Trump was the most savage, like at the NATO hearing. Yo, with the entire world press watching, he destroyed CNN and their reporters. Yo, we see how Pete went right at her.
because I say our boys and bombers is a common phrase. I'll keep saying things like that, whether they're men or women. Very proud of that female pilot, just like I'm very proud of those male pilots. And I don't care if it's a male or a female in that cockpit, and the American people don't care. But it's the obsession with race and gender in this department that's changed priorities. We don't do that anymore. We don't play your little games.
Do you have certainty that all the highly enriched uranium was inside the Fordow mountain, or some of it, because there were satellite photos that showed more than a dozen trucks there 2 days in advance? Are you certain none of that highly enriched uranium was moved?
Of course, we're watching every single aspect. But Jennifer, you've been about the worst. The one who misrepresents the most intentionally what the president says. I'm familiar.
About the ventilation shafts on Saturday night. And in fact, I was the first to describe the B-2 bombers, the refueling, the entire mission with great accuracy. So I take issue with that.
I appreciate you acknowledging that this was the first the most successful mission based on operational security that this department has done since you've been here, and I appreciate that. So
Absolutely.
we're looking at all aspects of intelligence and making sure we have a sense of what was where.
Why not acknowledge the female pilots that also participated in this mission? The early messages that you sent
Bang, there you go. She talking about why not acknowledge the female pilots. It was one female pilot. The Joint Chief of Staff before that already said to it. But you see, this is a historical military mission. They've been trying to shut down Iran's nuclear initiative for 15 years. Trump did it in 45 minutes. So we got this liberal newspaper trying to ask about the woman pilot. They want that DEI shit. Yo, watch how Pete savages her.
only congratulated the boys.
So when I say something like our boys and bombers, see, this is the kind of thing the press does, right? Of course, the chairman mentioned a female bomber pilot. That's fantastic. She's fantastic. She's a hero. I want more female bomber pilots. I hope the men and women of our country sign up to do such brave and audacious things. But when you spin it as, because I say our boys and bombers as a common phrase, I'll keep saying things like that, whether they're men or women. Very proud of that female pilot, just like I'm very proud of those male pilots. And I don't care if it's a male or a female in that cockpit, and the American people don't care. But it's the obsession with race and gender in this department that's changed priorities. We don't do that anymore. We don't play your little games. Yes, right there.
Yo, so we don't play your little game.
Intelligence that I've reviewed that says things were not where they were supposed to be, moved or otherwise. Yes.
Kelly Meyer with News Nation, and just off the top, want to say we're grateful for the service of these pilots and everybody that serves. I wanted to ask you, the CIA statement said, when possible, they will provide updates and information to the public for transparency. And I believe that's what we're looking for here. Do you commit to share the Defense Intelligence Agency report when it is ready, so the American people can understand more about the intelligence assessment?
Well, actually, the report that was discussed, this preliminary report, was what's called a restrike report. So it comes to us to give us an assessment whether a target would need to be restruck, right? That's the reason why. So it's based on internal feedback loop that we're supposed to have access to. Unfortunately, someone took advantage of that. But whatever is supposed to be made public will be, but whatever has to stay sensitive.
Sir, can I just jump in? You know, one of the things that I'm trying to do through this journey that we're on together, of course, transparency, but also the requirement to really protect these capabilities. I guess time's up. So there's a balance in there, right? We do need to preserve options should the nation and the joint force be tasked to go do something again. So I'm confident we'll find the middle ground, but there are some things that if asked, I'd want to not release.
Thank you. Squaring me away as always. I mean, even in just public reporting, you see the post-strike shaft of the 3 holes. The vast majority, and fairly so, the vast majority of speculation has been those are the 3 strike points. When in actuality, what you realize is these are the vents, these are the caps. The first munition took the cap off, and the other 5 went down the center hole, which if you're planning the target, you would want it to be the direct one going to the bottom. These are the types of things that go into the planning for a strike that the Pentagon would not expect the press corps or the American people to initially understand. So laying this information out is helpful, but it's also why we ask for a beat, for a moment, for a day or 2, the opportunity to tell that story. Because as the chairman said, these men and women that did this mission, they just want to do their job. They're not expecting their story to be told. They're not expecting the glory. They are grateful for the flags and the hugs of family. That's why they do the job. But they also know they were a part of something historic. We know how historic it was. The chairman does. I know, our staffs know. And so that's why we are, and the president of the United States knows. And that's why
He said the pilots got a lot of sleep being those planes fly themselves. Well, hell, Storm in the chat. Run that by Storm, Dave. Quiet Storm says, Secretary of Defense roasted the CNN, the CNN reporter so bad she filed a Me Too case against the DOD. Bro, he was savage on them. And Trump just been going ham. He don't care about nothing. He was calling CNN and the reporter scum. Bro. Wow says damn right. Hold on. So this is all right. All this is a segue. So this was Hegseth and the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the Pentagon. I have the links to all the source videos in the description also. But all of that is for us to lead up into this. So let's do the news report first, because I saw these the last 48 hours, and I was like, okay, more ICE stuff. Like I didn't really think too much about it. Like, okay, so I'm gonna play these ICE arrests of these Iran, because first a lot of the news headlines was just Iranians arrested. It wasn't saying anything about sleeper cells. Yeah, Dave Fennell, Storm. Dave said, because it was an 18-hour flight from Missouri to Iran, to the bomb site, to the bombing site, right? So he was saying they got a lot of sleep because those planes pretty much fly themselves. So I was like, well, you need to talk to Storm about that. Bang, there you go, Theo. Iran sleeper cells equals CNN press corps. Yo, all right, hold on to your hat, because I'm lining it up, okay? That's the quiet part out loud. See, I just all right before the show, I just put all this together. Ron Yates, I watch his channel a lot. It's a black guy. There's a lot of black content creators doing like political content and news content, and they're really, Ron Yates got over 700,000 subscribers. I've been watching him for like a year plus. But I'm gonna play this Iranian arrest news clip, and then we're gonna play a piece of Ron's thing, because yo, Theo, you're spot on right with that, because he basically connected all of the dots. So you know, it's been all of this hubbub the last few days with the CNN leaking that preliminary top secret document about the preliminary assessment. It's the low-level assessment of potential damage to the Iranian site. I'm going to let Ron explain it, but apparently that was like a verbal activation for a sleeper cell, an Iranian sleeper cell. They're going to tie it all together. Like shout out to the Trump administration. They've been keeping this hush hush, but the FBI, State Department, and everybody's been making moves. They've been keeping it quiet in the press, because I was looking on Fox and I'm like, man, how come they haven't run anything on this? Once I saw Yates report, and then you've seen in the last 24 hours CNN trying to do positive coverage on the military operation, because shit done hit the fan with these Iranian sleeper cells and the shit. And it's just like, hold on, let me put Theo's. Well, you said yo, Dave, Quiet Storm's telling you said B-2 planes do not fly themselves. It's a two-man crew with a pilot and a mission commander. So there we have it. I told you, Storm the man to know. But Theo, you hit it right on the head. Iran sleeper cells equals CNN press corps. We're gonna see how this shit plays out. But yo, when you when we play the Ron Yates segment, all right, because we're only at the 40-minute mark. We're moving fast tonight, so I'll have enough time to play some of the Ron Yates segment, and then we'll just do some libs freaking out, and we'll call it a night. We did by the numbers earlier this week. I'm waiting for some fresh numbers for us to do another by the numbers segment. We might do one tomorrow, and I'll be on with the news desk early tomorrow because it's the Sabbath. All right, let's load this. All right, so this one is breaking: 130 Iranians arrested by ICE in the past week. This is all in the same time frame as the bombing of the sites in Iran. What's Dave talking about? Dave said, I did see a video where when they get them in the air. Maybe I'm wrong. The person who definitely knows is Storm, Navy veteran, and been working on, my man fly all over the world working on these military aircraft and everything. Like I said, we got a lot of high level dudes down here in the space. Theo F in the building happens to be one of them. All right, so let's load this one up so I could tie this all together with a nice bow when I play the Ron Yates segment. All right, share my screen. All right, here we go. Perfect, at the stage. Let's go.
We also arrested a former sniper from a hostile country who snuck into the United States. So those are the type of individuals we want to locate.
So you hear it there. That's Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons talking about the work his agency is doing, trying to find and apprehend Iranian nationals in the U.S., given concerns of potential sleeper cells here. And ICE has been busy. Federal sources telling Fox in the last week alone, ICE has arrested 130 Iranian nationals all across the United States. And ICE currently has 670 Iranian nationals in ICE detention. Now,
so you would say to yourself, that is a huge uptick in arrests this week for Iranians in particular, in light of the military action taken in Iran. So let's look at a little bit of this play before I pull up.
Now we talk about some of those people who are detained right now. You just heard Todd Lyons explain some of it. This guy, a former Iranian army sniper who had his military ID card on him at the time of his arrest. This guy, a former IRGC member with suspected ties to Hezbollah. This man had a gun in his waistband. And ICE says another one of them was a known or suspected terrorist. So they are going out and they're going into overdrive, trying to track down these potential threats. For more on this, we want to bring in former Acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey. Jonathan, ICE is really cranking it up when it comes to finding these Iranians. Your thoughts?
Yeah, they're doing a great job, and Director Lyons and Tom Homan are doing a fantastic job focusing in and getting these people locked up and eventually removed because they see them as a danger. And it does show a drastic change. And unfortunately, it's a change from the previous administration where they seem to put public safety and national security secondary to their open borders agenda. And I think you were reporting earlier, there were 1,500 Iranians stopped during the Biden administration, and they let in over half of them. We also know that they let in 99 people that were stopped at the border. This is a Biden administration that were on the terror watch list, and they still let them into the country. So it's a shame that this administration, the current one, has to play cleanup for people that should have never been allowed in to begin with.
Yeah, a lot of work for ICE to do. Definitely want to get your thoughts on this other big story we've been talking about in regards to ICE. I'm sure you've seen it by now. The vice mayor of a city in Southern California, a city called Cudahy.
All right, this is a piece of extra. Storm, you in the chat. This is in California. What's your vice mayor doing over there? Calling for the Mexicans and the gangs to sounded like she working for the cartels to attack ICE agents. This is a mayor right up in your neck of woods. Storm, listen to this shit.
Went on social media, posted a video, then deleted it, in which she called for 18th Street and Florencia 13 gang members to defend their territory against ICE. Take a listen to this.
I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles. 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the
This is a mayor down there. She want to know where all the cholos is at.
leadership at? They tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, it's everyone else who's not about the gang life that's out there protesting and speaking up. We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our people. And like, where you at?
So that was Cynthia Gonzalez, and her attorney has now put out a statement defending her. She says in part, quote, Gonzalez issued a challenge to the Latino community. Join the thousands of Angelenos already peacefully organizing in response to ongoing enforcement actions. Gonzalez in no way encouraged anyone to engage in violence. Jonathan, a challenge to the Latino community. She directly appealed to Florencia and 18th Street and ended the video by saying to the leadership of those gangs, get your effing members in order and defend your turf. Your thoughts?
I would say as far as rhetoric, we are at a new low, and I didn't think we could get any lower after comparing.
That's crazy. She might be under investigation after that. Storm says she's a world-class idiot along with Karen Bass. Bro, this DEI elections are hiring, like, hey, all y'all liberal cities, y'all, and if this socialist wins in New York, he's going to turn New York into a bigger hellhole than it's already become. David Fennell says they should arrest her and go after the gangs, make an example out of California. It's about that time. Everybody needs to get the Iran treatment.
ICE agents, many Democratic politicians comparing them to Nazis as a Gestapo. But this is really scary because I was a federal prosecutor for 17 years and we would prosecute these gangs, 18th Street, and they were known for violence. And these gangs, their sole purpose is essentially to fight, kill, maim other gangs. So now they are saying ICE is basically a rival gang, and defending your turf means harm people that are on your turf, the rival gangs, ICE. This is unquestionably a call to violence. I don't know how you can interpret it any other way. And it is also shocking that I don't think there's a single Democrat politician that has come out against these statements. And it just a couple of weeks ago, they were talking about toning down the rhetoric, and this is what we got. But it's funny, her attorney's statement, I think, even makes things worse because it doesn't really take anything back. It just essentially lies about what she said. She said defend the turf against a rival gang being ICE. She didn't say take to peaceful protest against policies we disagree with. So the statement from the attorney is patently false, made things worse, but it really is just scary because these agents are putting their lives on the line. And just from the first part of this story, talking about these terrorists or potential terrorists they're arresting, we need these ICE agents to be able to do their jobs to protect the public, protect national security, and instead they are putting them at greater danger. And on top of this, we have these instances of agents being doxxed and other stuff. So the danger of these agents is greater because of these politicians. It's a shocking new low. I hope people condemn it. But her statement just shows she's honestly just not going to condemn it, but just lie about what she said, even though it's on video. Truly shocking, unconscionable, Hopefully it's a new low, meaning it doesn't get any lower, but this is really awful.
Yeah, and the LA police union understandably isn't too happy about it. They said that both of these gangs have killed police officers in Los Angeles, including as recent as 2022 with Florencia 13. That police union is now calling for her to resign. But to your point, we haven't seen any elected Democrats in Southern California make a similar call to resign. What do you think about that? I mean, she is literally appealing to gang leadership.
It is shocking, but it shows how committed the Democratic Party is to this open borders amnesty agenda, because they are all seemingly 100% on board with it. And it's very interesting, as Trump has been more successful on this issue, as we've seen, and you report all the time about the border numbers being so low. Remember, Democrats during the campaign were saying they were for border security. I've heard nobody say congratulations to President Trump on securing the border, because it shows that was all a false narrative. They were never for a secure border. And the more successful he is at securing the border, at deporting illegal aliens that are criminals and put us at risk, the more they ratchet up their rhetoric and the more they fight against ICE. So it just shows where they are as a party, which is full-on open borders amnesty, and there's no wiggle room within the party right now on that, shamefully so.
Yeah, and I've been
spot on. Storm says she has a master's degree in education and dumb as a box of rocks. So it's her, Bass, and didn't you have a goofy Asian mayor in Oakland as well? David Fiddles, yeah, the FBI did pay her a visit to her house. I think she posted something on social media. So she's already under investigation. I'll give Patel that. Patel keep everything quiet until he's ready to swoop on you. Storm said, notice New Scum and Bass is quiet about this one. Hell yeah. International Quiet. Storm said, Theo Watts said, Storm, she studied at Keisha. Speaking of which, you guys are right on time. Hey, look, I got a new AI news clip for you. Here you go.
This just in. The United States has officially deployed its most reckless and unpredictable unit to the Middle East, the Ultima Team.
Girl, I'm lost. Keisha, guess where I am? Girl, they sent me to Iran. Who's gonna fill in? Girl, that. They got some good ass food here though. Did you not see me? Dead ass. Move. I don't even care for real. Bitch.
Thanks, Chris. Known for their unmatched ability to cause complete havoc in school zones, Walmart parking lots, and Taco Bell drive-thrus.
Y'all lucky I ain't bring Keisha.
The Pentagon has confirmed these drivers were selected based on three things: unpaid registration, loud exhaust, and vibes. God help us all.
Yeah. That's some of our new AI news clips, man. We be up here working. Those shits be funny. He said the Nissan Altima got my stomach hurting. Hold on. Whatchamacallit? Let me rerun some of these joints from the fucking news, from the news intro. Hold on. What do I got? Okay, here, play this one. This one funny. While I load up my other joint, my other news joint anyway.
Capping Yo Ass Jones. Tonight's story, BNN weather reporter and local ho Keisha McRib thinks she too good for me. The part-time weather reporter and full-time community mattress was begging me to come through and lay this pipe last Friday, but now she want to act like she don't know me. She ain't ever had a problem asking me to pay for her food, but when it come time to show me what that mouth do, the hoe proudly lied, I ain't that kind of girl. So we just gonna act like you ain't already popping Plan Bs like they a daily vitamin. Oh, please. The dry cleaners won't even take your business anymore. They all tired of cleaning up baby batter stains off your clothes. Don't ever ask me to DoorDash you no crab legs again. You ain't never gonna feel these biggity black balls snocking all up on that tuna fish hot pocket garage door. And she wanna walk around here like we strangers now? Here's a forecast for any men thinking they're about to get some neck work from this hoe. Expect a 100% chance of STDs. Don't be texting me next week saying, I miss you, Chocolate Thunder, come and get this deep dish. I ain't no hot and ready midnight snack hoe. You just missed the free shrimp. And now here's Keisha McRib with the weather.
That shit funny as hell, right? Yo, I got like a ton of these drawers. I gotta edit them all up, man.
Marshmallow Jenkins, we have some extremely tragic news for you tonight. The only Hooters in my town has shut down. I drove my moped to the promised land on my lunch break today, and I was shocked to discover that the happiest place on earth has become nothing but a memory. A culinary institution that was once the heartbeat of Tickletoe County locked its doors for the last time this week as it filed for bankruptcy. As the earth shifted beneath my Crocs in that empty parking lot, it began to rain. As if even the sky knew what had been lost to the cruel, twisted hand of fate. I began to wonder where Kelly could be. Is she thinking about me? Wondering where I am? My soul is now bankrupt of boobies. But do I get to file these feelings? No, I must carry on. I must become the man that my dad wanted me to be. The man that was born when Kelly hugged me that one time and absolutely smothered my face with those squeezers. Because if I can't become that man, well, I don't deserve Kelly and her massive upper deckers, do I? So that's what I must do. I won't just survive this tragedy. I'll become stronger from it. Stronger than I've ever been. I know more jiggly honkers are out there, and I'll find them.
Yo, these things are fucking genius, man. And for some of these drones, you can't even tell they're AI. The resolution and the pixels are so good. And the overdubbing with the lips moving and the audio, crazy. All right, let's get into this Ron Yates segment because this is the citizen journalist thing. He covers this is confirmed. Sleeper Cell was waiting on the green light from the CNN link. This goes back to where's Theo's statement. Keisha, where's your something equals CNN? I want to put that back on the screen. Bang, there you go. Theo hit it right on there. Iran sleeper cell equals CNN press corps. So let's go. And this is Ron. Links in the description. This is Ron Yates' channel. So brother, he's got 700,000 subscribers. Yo, what up, Brian? Well, I'll see you, Playboy. Yeah, we're just going through some news. This is like the last segment. We are 57 minutes in. So let me add this to the stage real quick. Let's remove this. Present. And I want him to, he's going to explain it better than I do. Shout out to No News because he actually sent me this link to go over. View tab in StreamYard, add the stage, bangity bang, bang, bang. Bang. All right, let's go. Turn the volume up. We're good. Let's just take a...
That sleeper cell was on the move. Now, thanks to the swift action from President Trump's FBI and DHS, they were intercepted before they...
All right, let's take this from the beginning because he's going to... this is citizen journalism. He did his research.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just another intel leak. This was a signal that nearly cost American lives. We now have confirmation that an Iranian-backed sleeper cell operating inside the United States was actively monitoring U.S. media channels, and they were waiting. They were waiting for a very specific moment. And when CNN ran a story revealing classified troops, movement, and diplomatic pressure points, that was it. That was their green light. Within 24 hours, that sleeper cell was on the move. Now, thanks to the swift action from President Trump's FBI and DHS, they were intercepted before they could strike, but not before leaving behind a trail of encrypted messages, foreign contacts, and one terrifying truth. The American media is now a vulnerability, not just biased, not just broken, weaponized. So in today's video, we need to walk through several key items, okay? The classified intel.
Bro, and we've been saying this, like the way the mainstream media has been operating as like essentially a propaganda arm for the Democratic Party, and their hostility toward the executive office. Forget that it's Trump, it's the executive office. Some of this stuff is bordering on like treasonous behavior. And then supporting Hezbollah, and now their CNN's initial broadcast being pro-Iran. But then there was that leaked intelligence report that everyone's talking about, where it was saying, oh, which is classified, where there's an investigation now saying, oh, there wasn't that much damage to the sites and everything. So Yates is saying that that leak was intentional, and that the sleeper cells were waiting for the information on that leak to do with it, to basically do something, and that the FBI were already aware of the sleeper cell, and they caught them beforehand. So just listen to some of this, so what he's running down, and we're going to see actually how it plays out in the news in the next couple weeks.
Tell that CNN leaked, and who in the network might have known. The exact timeline that shows media coverage syncing with terror activity, how President Trump's administration stopped the attack just minutes before, and the next wave that the media doesn't want you to know about, because this wasn't a one-time operation. This was stage one. So buckle up, guys, because once you see how deep this goes, you're never going to watch the news the same way again. By the way, if you appreciate the news updates, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So let me paint the picture very clearly for you. For every American watching who thinks this can't happen here, Houston, Texas, a massive, globally connected city, energy capital of the United States, home to oil pipelines, port terminals, refineries, and one of the largest concentrations of Fortune 500 companies in the nation. And at the same time, quietly a target. On June 23rd, just a couple days ago, President Trump's Justice Department greenlit a precision counterterrorism takedown. And what they found was crazy. A sleeper cell of 3 Iranian-linked operatives posing as students and small business owners had been living in plain sight. One drove for a rideshare company. Another one worked part-time at a storage facility. The third enrolled in a tech boot camp. And behind the curtain, they were assembling gear, surveillance drones, night vision scopes, high-capacity power sources. And according to one official, they even had enough explosive material to level a city block. The timing? Chilling. FBI and DHS field intel suggested that they were just 36 hours away from launching a multi-site coordinated strike, one that was aimed at both infrastructure and civilian targets to maximize chaos and media coverage. And that right there, guys, that is the key. Media coverage, okay? Because here's the thing. This entire cell had been dormant for over a year. They were quiet, they were watching, they were blending in. Nobody noticed them. They were hiding in plain sight. What changed though? What woke them up? The FBI's internal comms analysis shows that the cell's encrypted devices activated within 90 minutes of a CNN broadcast airing highly sensitive details about U.S. cyber efforts inside of Iran. Not a tweet, not a classified drop on a forum. A CNN segment aired to millions of Americans, acted as a signal. And thank God, we have a commander-in-chief who actually listens to his national security team. Trump was briefed within the hour. He ordered direct coordination between FBI counterintelligence, DHS threat response, and NSA signal intercepts. He didn't wait for some press conference. He didn't poll test anything. He just acted. The result? The operatives were taken down in a single coordinated strike, arrested without a single shot fired, and they're now in federal custody awaiting charges under domestic terror statutes and foreign collusion provisions updated in President Trump's 2025 National Defense Act. Now, this was not a random arrest. This was a near miss, a planned act of mass murder that almost succeeded because somebody somewhere decided to leak some classified information to the press. And that really brings us directly to CNN. So now, you want to talk about accountability? Let's talk about what actually aired. On June 21st, CNN ran a segment titled...
Yo, this is a crazy timeline, right? I listened to most of this before I went on. Once again, shout out to No News. He sent me this. And that's why I played those things in succession like that. And I played what is it, 103, 123 Iranian arrests this week alone. Yeah, it's not random.
Titled, White House confirms pressure campaign on Tehran escalating, in which unnamed officials claim that the U.S. had infiltrated key communication lines in Iran's nuclear program and was prepping electronic warfare tactics. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment, okay? That's not analysis. That is operation level intelligence. And it was broadcast internationally. The FBI's assessment, the information aired was partially accurate, highly time sensitive, and not cleared for public release. In other words, it was classified. So within 2 hours of the broadcast, FBI Cyber Command picked up the signal intelligence, SIGINT or SIGINT, showing dark web communication nodes lighting up across US VPNs linked to Iranian IP clusters. The sleeper cell, they accessed a remote Tor server and downloaded what analysts believe was a pre-coded instruction packet. Translation, they had been told, wait until this headline appears, then act. You see what I'm saying here, guys? This isn't just some wild theory. According to sources within the DOJ, and these are officials appointed directly by President Trump, a criminal investigation is now underway into both CNN and the New York Times. The charges being explored, we're looking at unauthorized disclosure of national defense information, providing material aid to a foreign-linked terror group, indirectly or otherwise, and yes, interference in a domestic terror investigation. Now, most folks don't even realize that they're in the wrong Medicare plan until they see just how much they could have been saving. Carolyn, she said it plainly. She said,
yo, that's a hell of a segue into his video sponsor. That was smooth. But no, that's the meat and potatoes of that. That's crazy, right? So that's what I said. We might do a follow-up segment on this on Sunday, and we're gonna, I guess, watch the news for the next 2 weeks. But the Trump administration is keeping this part under wraps. Like I said, CNN's could very well be in a lot of trouble, and Trump already mentioned the chick Natasha by name on Twitter, and said that she needs to be fired immediately. Cool. We're at the 1 hour 7 minute mark. Oh, all right, man. We made good time. Let me just play this last. Let me play this last piece. We'll call it a night. Pam, and this is this is in line with the rest of the Trump administration. Pam Bondi apparently is filing lawsuits against all of the judges in Maryland. These sanctuary cities. Hold on, let me pull this up. Bet. Let's do share screen. Stop. There we go. Yeah.
Attorney General Pam Bondi taking action against federal judges in the state of Maryland. Justice correspondent David Spunt is joining us live in Washington with more on this. David, good morning to you.
Bill, good morning. This is incredibly unusual for the DOJ of the United States to sue every federal judge in a given state. In this case, the state of Maryland. It all stems back to immigration and the DOJ view that Maryland federal judges are putting up roadblocks for deportations. Since coming back to office in January, President Trump signed a flurry.
All right, let's run that back.
Attorney General Pam Bondi taking action against federal judges in the state of Maryland. Justice correspondent David Spunt is joining us live in Washington with more on this. David, good morning to you.
Bill, good morning. This is incredibly unusual for the DOJ of the United States to sue every federal judge in a given state. In this case, the state of Maryland. It all stems back to immigration and the DOJ.
Joe, you heard us? She's suing every judge in the state of Maryland. Yo, they not playing.
view that Maryland federal judges are putting up roadblocks for deportations. Since coming back to office in January, President Trump signed a flurry of executive orders, many of them making their way to courtrooms across the country, but a large amount ended up in Maryland courts. The DOJ, writing in its lawsuit in recent months and years, district courts have used and abused their equitable powers to interfere with the prerogatives of the executive branch to an unprecedented degree. DOJ argues the judiciary cannot hamstring the executive branch from carrying out legitimate executive orders, especially when it comes to immigration. Critics of the lawsuit note the judiciary is a co-equal branch of government. Alicia Bannon, who works with the Brennan Center of Justice, wrote on social media, "It's hard not to see this challenge as further escalation by the administration of its opposition to courts that have sought to check illegal government conduct." The ironic part, though, Bill and Dana, the lawsuit was filed in Maryland, so the judges, who are the defendants here, may end up deciding the case if they don't send it elsewhere. An unusual one. Back to you.
Interesting and unusual indeed. David Spunt live in DC for us. David, thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to.
All right, bet. That's a wrap. But you see Trump not playing around. And I like that Pam Bondi is suing every judge in the state of Maryland. They sending a message for all these district judges trying to, well, Supreme Court just actually sided with Trump anyway. But all of them trying to practice lawfare, shit's about the, Trump's on, what, 157, not even 160 days in office yet. Stuff's about to get real messy before the midterms. And I hope that they bring the hammer down on CNN and force a lot of these mainstream media networks to get back to old school Walter Cronkite type journalism. All right, guys, that's a wrap for tonight. We're at the 1 hour, 11-minute mark. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Good night and good luck.
This just in. The United States has officially deployed its most reckless and unpredictable unit to the Middle East, the Ultima Team.
Girl, I'm lost. Keisha, guess where I am? Girl, they sent me to Iran. Who's gonna fill in? Girl, that. They got some good ass food here though. Did you not see me? Dead ass! Move! I don't even care for real. Bitch!
Thanks, Chris. Known for their unmatched ability to cause complete havoc in school zones, Walmart parking lots, and Taco Bell drive-thrus.
Y'all lucky I ain't bring Keisha.
The Pentagon has confirmed these drivers were selected based on 3 things: unpaid registration, loud exhaust, and vibes. God help us all.
Tomorrow's weather happened yesterday, so we're experiencing reverse precipitation. Rain will unfall upward into the clouds starting at 3 p.m.
We're getting reports that local resident Mike Johnson has discovered he's been the same NPC for 3 years, repeating identical conversations with neighbors.
As you can see, we have heavy cat precipitation moving through the Midwest. Expect 3 to 4 inches of tabby cats with scattered Persian showers.
We're seeing a high-pressure system of existential dread moving in from the west, with scattered anxiety showers and a 70% chance of emotional breakdown by evening.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Mitchell. Wait, why are there 2 of us? I think we're experiencing a rendering error.
In tonight's game, gravity was temporarily disabled in the 3rd quarter, resulting in all players floating near the ceiling for approximately 12 minutes.
Traffic is backed up on the aerial highway due to a 3-car collision at cloud level 7. We're seeing delays of up to 20 minutes for commuters trying to reach the stratosphere.
And that concludes tonight's completely AI-generated news broadcast. None of this was real, but you watched anyway. Back to your regularly scheduled
panel. This country needs stronger border security. Our border security is the strongest in the world.
What we need is to take care of our children.
I can't get an erection. You think giving them amnesty is fair to the people who are already here? They're contributing to the economy. I've tried all the herbs. Amnesty is never the answer. It's not amnesty. It's recognizing their contributions to our country. They said to meditate, but I keep falling asleep. We need stronger vetting.
And to enforce the laws already on the books.
I'm terrified of being alone with my wife. It's too much pressure. Well, nothing's ever going to change if Congress isn't willing to compromise. Exactly my point.
A wall would solve this.
I wake up with an erection, but never when she's in the bed with me. A wall would solve nothing.
These children have rights.
I spent $3,000 on a sandals vacation thinking that might do it. Know what it was? Me being limp on a lazy river.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you to Peter Griffin.
No, don't send me home to my wife. Damn it.
Sorry.
Hey, where's Stewie? That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today.
Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter.
There it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean, to play us out? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today, and we'll leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it, and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Stewie Griffin. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.